Subaru just made the perfect EV for people who hate Teslas. If you're one of those people who thinks Tesla owners are pretentious tech bros who've never seen dirt in their lives, well, have I got some news for you. Subaru just dropped the 2026 Solterra, and it's basically everything that Tesla isn't. We're talking about an EV that can take you camping, doesn't require a PhD in software engineering to operate, and won't make you look like you're cosplaying as Elon Musk. But here's what's really exciting about the new Solterra. This isn't just another half-baked attempt at electrification. Subaru actually listened to real people this time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another EV review. Great. But stick with me here, because if you're someone who's been sitting on the fence about electric vehicles, maybe you love the idea of never buying gas again, but you can't stomach the thought of driving something that looks like it's been designed by a bunch of Silicon Valley interns. This might be the car that actually converts you. You see, most EVs on the market today fall into two categories. Either they're Tesla clones that prioritize tech over practicality, or they're compliance cars that feel like the manufacturer had to build them because of the laws. Well, the Solterra, this is different. Here's what Subaru understood that everyone else didn't. Real people don't want to feel like they're beta testing someone's science project when they're on their way to work. They want a car that works like a car, not a smartphone on wheels. The 2026 Solterra gets 288 miles of range. That's a huge 26% jump from the previous model. But more importantly, it comes with a Tesla NACS port right out of the factory. You know what that means? You'll have access to Tesla's Supercharger network without buying into their whole system. It's like getting all the benefits of Tesla's infrastructure without all the Tesla attitude. And here's where things get interesting. While Tesla owners are waiting for their next software update, the Solterra just works. It's got physical buttons for climate control. And get this, you can actually see the instrument cluster without craning your neck to the side every time you want to read your speed. Now let's talk about what this thing can actually do. The Solterra comes standard with all-wheel drive. Not as an expensive option, but standard. Every single one. That's because Subaru knows that their customers actually use their vehicles for more than just commuting to Whole Foods. The 338 horsepower XT model will hit 60 in under 5 seconds. That's genuinely quick, not just quick for an EV. But here's the beautiful thing about electric motors. They deliver that power instantly at any altitude and in any weather condition. No waiting for turbos to spool up. No worrying about thin air in the elevation. But then there's the off-road capability that Tesla owners could only dream about. The Solterra has 8.3 inches of ground clearance, and Subaru's X-Mode system that optimizes all-wheel drive traction control. We're talking about real capability here, the kind that lets you actually reach those remote camping spots without worrying about high centering on a rock. Multiple reviewers have taken this thing through legitimate off-road courses, steep inclines, loose rocks, articulation tests that lift wheels off the ground, and it handles it all without drama. Try that in your Model Y. Now let's talk about the stuff that actually matters in daily life. The interior isn't trying to be some minimalist art installation. It's actually designed for humans. You've got a proper gauge cluster, physical controls for the things you use every day, and storage spaces that actually make sense. The 14-inch touchscreen is there when you need it. It's not trying to control your entire life. Want to adjust the temperature? Well, there's a knob for that. Want to change the drive mode? Well, there's a button for that. Charging is where this really shines for normal people. DC fast charging goes from 10 to 80% in 30 minutes at 150 kilowatts. That's not Tesla Plaid fast, but it's fast enough that you're not planning your life around charging stops. And with that NACS port, you're not limited to whatever sketchy third-party chargers that happen to be working that day. The ride quality has been completely overhauled for 2026. Subaru added acoustic glass, improved sound editing, and retuned the suspension. Reviews consistently mention how quiet and composed it feels, like a proper Subaru, not some electric science experiment. Look, I know what some of you are thinking, but what about range anxiety? Here's the thing, 288 miles is enough for 99% of what you actually do. When was the last time you drove more than 250 miles without stopping? And even if you did with Supercharger access, you're never more than a quick coffee break away from topping up. But what about reliability? Fair question. After all, this is Subaru we are talking about. The company that's been making all-wheel drive systems since before Tesla was even a twinkle in Elon's eye. They know how to build cars that last, and the Solterra benefits from that institutional knowledge. And those for you worried about looking like a Tesla owner, don't be. The Solterra looks like what it is. A practical, well-built SUV that happens to be electric. No one's going to be assuming that you spent your weekend arguing about cryptocurrency on Twitter. So here's the bottom line. If you've been waiting for an EV that doesn't require you to join some weird tech cult, then the 2026 Solterra might just be your answer. It's not trying to be the fastest, the most high-tech, or the most revolutionary. It's just trying to be the most practical. In a world full of EVs that feel like they're rolling smartphones, that's actually revolutionary. Is it perfect? No, nothing's ever perfect. Reviews mention that the steering could use more feedback and that the instrument cluster placement is still questionable. But for someone who wants to go electric without compromising on the things that actually matter, like reliability, practicality, and the ability to handle real-world conditions, this is probably going to be your best bet. The pricing isn't announced yet, but if Subaru can keep it competitive with the Model Y, they might have something special here. Because at the end of the day, most people don't really want to feel like they're driving the future. They just want to drive a good car that happens to be electric. So what do you think? Are you ready to consider an EV that doesn't come with a side of Silicon Valley smugness? Let me know in the comments if the Solterra has changed your mind about going electric, or if you're still holding out for something else. Thanks for tuning in to AK's Thoughts. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Peace.